I am trying to, if I'm trying to really set myself up for a productive fat loss phase, what would be like step one of setting myself up for that? So if you had a client and you're like, all right, client, this is step one. This is how I'm going to set you up for a productive fat loss phase. What would that look like in the kind of the intro programming?
First, I would probably double check to see what has their diet history have been, just to know what their state of health is metabolically. Looking at from that perspective, so I'll kind of ask those kind of questions, kind of get on a call with them to kind of ask some of those to get a little bit more personable. Um, but the biggest thing that I'll always usually try to recommend is doing a blood panel. So particularly more thyroid related. If they're having any kinds of symptoms that might be causing a red flag for other types of panels, such as like some of the more hormone panels, whether it's male, female, that kind of thing, then I'll usually provide them with the specifics of the actual types of laboratory work that they should be looking for. I guess the biggest uphill battle with that is what I always recommend from a physiological standpoint of what we're trying to accomplish doesn't always correlate to when they get into the doctor's office trying to get these specifics of labs. So basically, I'll try to get those labs done, at least the thyroid at minimum, to kind of see that we're not going to be spinning our wheels or causing any kind of frustration with trying to put someone in a fat loss phase.
I have a question. I guess what if the doctor doesn't or refuses to order those? Because I feel like
Get a new doctor.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it's always hard, you know. Sometimes you just have to be that squeaky wheel with trying to be persistent. You know, a lot of the doctors, I think a lot has to do with just the insurance that the doctors or physicians are dealing with. They don't usually do those types of specifics of lab panel, so they're always trying to do the very standard minimum and put you on medication. They're not really working on prevention.
Yeah,
Mm.
Would you, Gillis, would you happen to maybe know anything about what would be maybe an alternate route? Maybe let's say, for instance, if we go to a physician and we say, hey, you know, we need our TSH checked, we need our T4 checked, T3 checked, and we need reverse T3 checked. But they're saying, no, we're only going to check your TSH. Do you have like an alternate method that maybe you would maybe utilize, or some other form that maybe somebody could contact that would handle the blood work for that person?
There may be some clinics where you can go in and get them done. I'm not exactly 100% sure if you're not trying to go through like your primary or going through an alternate doctor. I mean, my recommendation would be looking like at more of a doctor that kind of not a primary, but more of like a naturopath doctor. That those are the doctors that'll usually be more willing to listen to you,
Mm-hmm.
because they're looking at it from a whole different perspective than a primary care.